And away we go, folks, here. Let's get it for Thursday. Shout out to the chat. Let's give away a book. Who wants a book? V3. V3, first person to type in V3. And then the first person that was in today, how about a gold? Alex, you want a gold? Gold membership. So what we're doing with this, what I'm trying to get everybody to kind of tune into, which is over at harmonictrader.com, start as a basic member. And then the gold membership, it comes after taking all advantage of the free trial. Come in here for a couple weeks, become a basic member, and again, TradingView, everybody. I go over this because I actually got a couple questions in the last week of how to get signed up. I really think the easiest thing to do is just become a basic member, and send your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. Even if you're brand new, the software is the tool that accelerates the learning and helps you understand the framework. And the framework is what we need to talk about today with the new HSI dot. So told you that I was on I'm always trying to advance it, harmonic strength index, amplified RSI, of course, all of the patterns go back, I don't know how many decades, but the HSI dot is really is my attempt to try to get everybody to realize in the easiest sense the confirmation and applied to harmonic patterns mostly, but you'll see relationships. I mean, I just say, of course, you're going to give me the questions first of how do I get it. Just please give me like a week. Give me a week. I put it on my own platform, and I'm going to tease you now a little bit. Yes. So really quick, before I get into anything, let's talk this strategy, because we've been looking for the patterns with the confirmation always to establish how far have we gone within that certain time period. And then looking not only at the pattern, but the confirmation within the framework. Perfect example, Airbnb, okay, doing a bunch of reactions. And even today, actually, a lot of these are generating the dots where your bearish HSI has kind of taken place. Let me bring in, I'm going to just show you. This will be in the settings. And what, oh wait, let me bring this back in. I think this will be available probably within 10 days. I hope that it's, I can get my head around everything that needs to happen. Is there some filtering that needs to happen? How do I combine it with HSI? So there you go. All right, let's look at it that way. And what's the best way I can recommend you to look at that? I mean, this should be the ultimate confirmation for what we do. Let's jump over to SPY really quick, because that seems to be the chart of the day. Here you go. And we have been talking about, pattern and framework all together since this shark. Well, what are we going to do now after yesterday? Because this is a perfect type 1 reaction. And look, it hit target 1. There's your HSI signal. And then 1, 2 green bars. And it's now denoted by that yellow dot. Call it HSI dot, I think, is a good way to think about this. But now we start to get more of the development and where, listen, within the framework and what things should do at each point. We should be seeing development. I mean, this is where we can really focus in, where you don't have much room to fudge it once you get that yellow dot at a level. The one thing I'm going to say is that I would use this first and foremost with the zones, not on their own. At least not yet. I think there's some filtering I need to do to maybe make it truly effective on its own, but clearly you're going to see the relationships with the pattern completions and target levels. I'm going to bounce around here, but here's another one. So check out Solana. And this is something I've been tweeting about recently, where here's the crab. It was a type 1 reaction. And I updated that a couple days ago. And here's the dot. I don't know, again, here with these different exchanges, depending on, which exchange, it's sorry, but it's not consistent in crypto. Regardless, we're getting HSI signal, the yellow HSI dot now that denotes the second bearish candle. Not every one of these in the Solana chart has the pattern, but the ones that do, Binance feed, which is the one we've been focusing on, is a perfect type 1 reaction. And now looking for the return, right? Looking for the return. So let's, I don't want to, got a couple more things to address, but just to kind of tease the dot one more time, you have things like this beautiful bat pattern in Bitcoin. Red arrow, HSI kicks it. That's great. That's a first point of confirmation, but we would still want to check back. I don't know if we're going to get it. It's trying to, but we'd want that check back. Then green, red candle, and then down. But I'm really getting into how the HSI develops, because we know the type 1 reaction, if that just rolls over in a kind of an automatic response back down to 19,000, not surprised. You've paused up here for a few days, but our best opportunities, especially on these type 1s, are those that have the check back scenario. So this is a beautiful chart. Now with the yellow dot, we go to Ethereum. Check out Ethereum. So I really feel like Ethereum, where's the Gartley for Ethereum? Sorry. Hold on. Okay, there's the Gartley. We have beautiful patterns in this Ethereum chart, by the way. But here you go. We talked about Ethereum, and I mentioned this on Tuesday of feeling maybe a little too pessimistic, perfectly at the type 2 return phase, check back HSI, everything I would put in a friggin' textbook. But check it out. The yellow dot was right on the money on that type 2 for Ethereum. So let's learn from this. Let's make this like Groundhog Day for trading, and every day we learn so we don't repeat the same mistakes. That's how I like to think about it, actually. But this is a ideal type 1, bang, and then the type 2 return with the yellow dot clarifies the whole setup where we're running for target 2, 1696. We got as high as 1610 on that move, but now we have HSI. So do you dump it? Not just yet, but you're looking for that. If that HSI is going to kind of stall this progress, it's probably after a check back. And even better, if you were looking for the end of that move, where's the dot? The dot is brand new, Vegas Tech guy. I hear you. I mean, I'm going to roll this out. This will be included with the software. So if you already purchased or subscribed to the software, again, this is only for TradingView for right now. So I have to, the other reason why to get TradingView as a primary tool and upgrade to MetaTrader or the other platforms, run a couple of different ones. I run like 3. But for TradingView, the easiest way is go to the basic members page for the information and send your TradingView, specifically TradingView username to hbc@sr-analyst.com. we will have that dot. If you get your trial today or next week, we'll have the dot. We'll be able to add it probably in the next week. So everyone that gets the trial will get it. We'll add it on. Before I go any further, something for today that I'm looking at, S&P futures, folks. We're right at a critical shark pattern on the 60-minute that just checked back. Also talking about dots. Well, we're one more bullish hour away from confirming this whole structure down here. So what does that make yesterday? Like a one-off? If it holds here, listen, it's a lot of sessions. Is the next 10 days into the end of the month, you're going to see this thing move. And I'll get into a couple charts in a second where I think it's going to go. But for right now, hourly, probably the best hourly setup of the new year. So just bounced off 886 at 3907 on the futures. But longer term perspective, if that's going to go kick into a full type 1 where you go to target 1 at back to 3971, you need one more hour. You'll need this hour actually, and then you'll need one more. Technically that would kick out a yellow dot. So let's get back to the TradingView platform. Where are we going? Where'd you go? So please understand, I'm going to get this out. And one or two things to show really quick with the dot. So why not just show the yellow dot? Well, you see where this isn't, the yellow dot's not foolproof. I mean, it's not a magic dot. Again, we want levels. The daily Ethereum chart shows you exactly that. Where's the pattern on the chart? It's here. So anything within this pattern framework, the dot's more relevant than, say, maybe these readings down here. Although really nice bottom formation, a couple of failed signals. One thought about the dot and harmonic strength index as a level or as an area, that the failures are pretty clear. If you're a bearish signal and you break through, it only takes really like one bar or so to say, hey, this has still got more to go. And it's kind of demonstrative in a good way where your stops could be tight. Again, I favor putting it within the patterns for now. Let's just highlight the Gartley really quick. And let's say, okay, I'm not going to look at HSI arrows anymore. Although I think you should, but this will help you. And this has been the thing. This was what our seminar was all about. And this is what we've been really trying to emphasize in the last couple of months since I put it forth in, I guess it was back in October, of saying, hey, let's give it 2 more bars. You know, let's wait. There you go. It's the wrong one. Let's give this development a couple more bars before we see the really big move. Why is that not kicking out? Don't know. Wanted to hide that. One second here. Let me take a look. All right, I'll come back to this. For the Ethereum situation, clearly yellow dot's triggering. It's triggering at a higher level, but it gives us that added confirmation. The stop levels, though, for these kind of signals do firm up wherever the extreme high or low comes in. That has to be it. Probably doesn't even need more than like a 1-bar breakdown. Dot means Goblin Town. Well, you know, maybe with a bat pattern. Oh, here, let me show you this layout. So let's take off. Let's just show the dot. Okay. Let's just show dot here. And if I was just looking at a dot, there you go. It does really give us some kind of preferences that with clear levels. Go to the daily here on Ethereum with the yellow dot. So what's the last signal? Well, bullish. Where's the prior bearish signal? Somewhere up in here. Okay. 1600. I think it does a fairly good job of kind of labeling out what are the expected ranges. And the breakdown points are clear. You know, as I said before, if we were to break above those prior readings above 1700, and I've said that on a few different other, we have some patterns up at 1700, but where there's more resistance. But if this was something bigger, it would be well above 1700. Generally, I would go through once I get this in your hands, okay, with the program. Just kind of go through with just the dot. The email, again, for the free trial, and it's, again, everybody, it's a free trial. All you need to do is send your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. All the information's on the basic members page. Just go to harmonictrader.com. Just submit your email and you're registered. I do want to share with folks that I've updated this library a little bit. So you go here, 1 second here.
Harmonic Trader Education.
Let's come back to this here and check the playlist. So I cleaned up the basic members page and this library, and it's going to come down to stuff like, pretty much simply like this. All of your identification and basic strategies can be found on this webinar menu. Great place for beginners. Go through each pattern, each strategy, and then the more advanced stuff that requires the software is on the HPC playlist. And you can get that here go to my YouTube channel, which most of you, again, subscribe. Go here, subscribe here, video. I'll go to my playlists there. So check out that. Yeah, here you go. It's that one. I will get a better link up there.
Outside influences.
But all of the courses that over the last couple of years are here. And again, if you haven't gone through this for HPC, most of the information you need is there. We do send other videos, and there's other stuff in the Discord. But if you haven't gone through those two playlists, do so, just to get you guys caught up to speed. So let's go back to both patterns and the dot, and let's get into it. Quick rundown. After yesterday's drop, S&P's off 34. NASDAQ's only off 135, and the Dow's did get hit yesterday a bit. It was off 150 or so. But I look, this is something where you're hitting short-term resistance on your big name stocks, big name indices. Here's Apple. Beautiful bat pattern. Perfect, really. And take a look. HSI came in, it checks back, and then you get your second arrow. So that second arrow is down like 128, not 134. So what's going on now? I think everyone that is aware of these kind of reactions see what's happening today. And this is why the next 24, 48 hours, go into the really 24th, not even into Monday, critical, because HSI on the dailies have generated across the board. Are we going to hit them today and check back tomorrow or Monday? On Apple, that's trying to trigger, basically put a cap at 135 within the larger zone. And what does that mean? What does it mean? It was a quick type 1 reaction. Beautiful HSI confirmation, a little bit lower, but this is it. And we're going to take more time. So one way to think about this with the yellow dot, and I think Apple is a perfect example of being able to capture a harmonic dud now. Why? Because we got the pattern. Sun icon, that generates. And this should be the sequence we start looking at. I'll get this out there, I promise. Maybe after the weekend even. But now, once I get this in your hands, this is the way we're going to look at all these setups. Sun icon, give me an HSI arrow, and give me the yellow dot. And then, where's the breakout? Where's the individual 3-bar breakout? Because even if we wanted to wait, we know we're deep in a zone where once we react, we'll probably go serial. There's that word, serial. Where's the breakout down here? Especially after the dot. Your 1 bars like that. You really don't get a 3-bar breakout until that candle there. But on the close, that's at 133, and you still went straight up to 138. If you can be in those kind of directional positions where you know what it's supposed to do, then you're jumping on board at a point where each prior low is your stop loss. Makes it a lot easier to manage that and know what the risk is. Now we've got a bearish HSI. It is rolling over today, but won't signal until the close. So especially for those that have the software, I'd be looking at 4 o'clock. Go at, after 4 o'clock close today and go see how many of these are triggering. Because that could send Apple back down into the zone, and that would be normal. Wouldn't be surprised, right? How many of these have we seen? Let's just let it play out. Speaking about playing out, let's look at what that S&P chart's doing. So I was flashing this up as a 60-minute. 1 second. So we have a deep crab. I lost you for a second. Now I'm back. I don't know why. But we do have a deep crab down here off of the late December rally. Pretty interesting type 1. Where's HSI now? Because this could go as low as 38.77. And one problem I have with this chart is HSI is nowhere to be found. That could mean that, off of this crab, it's more like a target 2. Nothing there. If this 60-minute pattern does not work out, and this gives us a good guide. Okay, if we're checking back right now, we still need a green candle. We got about 27 minutes till that bar closes. We need 2 green candles before that could do anything. So we'll know. And the hop level, look where that comes in. The hop level is 38.71. That's the same as your 4-hour crab target 2. 38.77. Where do you think S&P is going? So let's be aware of those levels and still in reaction mode. Are we going to fail the larger deal? I mean, take a look at that 4-hour chart on those S&P, all of that. There's a whole bunch of deep crab patterns up there. But I'm still going to say this. All of this history in here could be retested, even in the worst case. Again, 3,800. That's going to be the real defense of this whole move, of this attempted October rally. If we get any kind of failure under this low at 37.80, okay, then you're going to want to be concerned. For now, let's go back to the SPY chart, because we've still been trying to target this retest a little bit higher. Here's SPY. go back to this crab pattern. And I said this since really the end of December that if you were really bearish, what you would want to see is a retest up to the shark, generate some kind of HSI confirmation, and then go for target 2. And that's perfectly within the 1-2 framework. So, maybe what happens, I'm going to just hold my breath here, really, or nose. But I still think 407 on a retest would be an amazing opportunity structurally. Look at the downtrend going off the all-time high. So that's everybody's looking at that. I mean, everyone's looking at that. They got this thing squeezed down into little, last month's candle, last week's candle, last week's prior high, 400, super psychological. And there's 2 ways to look at this. Even I try to think about, okay, just assume nobody's looking at harmonic patterns. I mean, this group in here, but that's about it. And if they are, they're probably not looking at it the right way. So you see a lot of people drawing shapes the wrong way, but it's let's just look even at downtrends, convergence lines, triangles, and you're there. I mean, this is you're down to literally like a 1-bar range. You break and close under 385, or can rally back above 400 and close. Maybe it takes 2 more weeks, but that's what everyone's looking at. I'm more focused on this kind of a thing where, think about it from a harmonic perspective. This is our harmonic support area with yellow dot at 370. Much like the futures, okay, which is 3,800, 370 on the SPY. A breakdown under that, it would tell you something's really wrong. So that's the fight. And then the obvious retest here of that prior HSI, that's at 415 or so. And then last long-term chart, hey, another, let's step back. Okay, let's if you really follow harmonics and understand how the levels come in, they define that natural state of overbought, oversold behavior. That's it. That's the way you got to think about it. Even if you're brand new and you're like, what's this measurement? 1618, 314, 886. Why do these numbers work? Check the videos, I'll say. But you can see empirically, just watch the software and look at the dots, look at the levels, and then trace out those levels from a longer term perspective that define the plan of attack. Because clearly, again, here we at that 3770 level. So I'm not bearish. I'm not looking for market meltdown, unless you break that support in some kind of nasty way. You go back to the monthly charts here on SPY. Again, one of the things about these yellow dots, HSI as well, but now with the yellow dot, we can see it more clearly. They give you nice little reaction areas at a minimum. What's the bigger potential there? All right, are they a larger signal? Is it a pause? Is it a reaction, or is it a real reversal? You clearly know when it's a failure, like there. All right, it is monthly. Okay, another pause right there. Breakout. Go. And would be the same way interpreted here on the downside. So just, hey, 3,700 is it for now. 370. 3,800 on S&P. That's your target support. My hope is that what today is the 19th, next week, within a week, by next Thursday, I could get this to everybody. So, that's absolutely something I want to get into your hands, because the other side to this, notwithstanding yesterday, it's just a simple downtrend, challenging of the downtrend. And again, I think it's just comes down to your one bar price action on weekly, monthly, quarterly. You choose. Where's that going? If it breaks from here, you can see some kind of turnaround, which I'm not, it might take a little bit of time, and it might go as low as 38.70 on that move, but this is just getting stretched out. That's the way I really think you're in a consolidation zone more than some kind of massive meltdown zone, reaction zone. And let's bring a few more things into this that says, okay, you do have major signals that completed October, December, depending on your chart, depending on your market. Just trying to, get perspective of where we are relative to this whole deal. Now, I want to go really quick to the Qs, because there's several things in the Qs and NASDAQ going on currently. Much like S&P, it's actually a little earlier, or actually, excuse me, it happened a little bit later. This happened in November. It triggered, where our HSI did check back, and you have 2 months, bullish months, that, there you go. That bullish month in November started the process. And again, the way to think about it is we start looking for opportunities to the right of that dot. Monthly NASDAQ composite. So forget yesterday. I think it's pretty clear that if you're going to park yourself here for 4 months at that 260 level, you know where the break is. If you're going to have a problem with this signal, if it's going to fail, not only is it going to be pretty clear, but it's going to be a big failure. So I'm not too concerned yet on it. I'd be more concerned on the close under 260, 259. 4 months, actually, really realistically, you could say QQQs have been going sideways at that 265 level for 6 months now. You have that yellow dot, which says, okay, I've got 2 monthly candles. That's the start of something. Maybe that takes another month or two, but that's your fight. Appreciate that. Hey, can someone post the Discord link, the invite link, one of the moderators? I appreciate that comment, Michael, to join up with the Discord. I don't think I had the right link on there. So if somebody's got that, please. There you go. Thank you, David. Oh, there it was right above. Check that out. David V posted that 2-1 before there. So there you go. Several long-term monthly considerations. I think what happened just in the last week is you ran into too many of these daily HSI triggers like that from yesterday. Take a look at QQQ on the daily. Beautiful back-to-back dots at work here, where now you can see it. There's the reaction up to the first yellow dot. Over, goodbye. There's the type 2 with a perfect yellow dot. Beautiful. That's a better spot now. I mean, that's a lot better than there. Now we're over here. Okay, but we're going to use this dot in a way where we're not, don't think it's the home run dot, but it's HSI confirmation dot that we still have obstacles to overcome as you get out of the zone. Namely, is this HSI trigger. And HSI did get overbought, 2 days ago. We talked about that on Tuesday of when it would roll over. I postulated maybe Thursday it would generate. It did it yesterday. Costa Mooney's asking, is the check back of a dot a good spot? It should be the edge. Really not. You go on the close or go on the open of the next bar. Is one idea. Think about it this way. The question is, so do we wait for the check back of the dot now? It does happen, and I say go through this once you get it, because here's the signals, here's the sequence. Right there is where HSI comes out. So there's the first signal, but there's the bar. Now, the question is, do we wait for some kind of check back? No, I think as soon as that yellow bar generates, you're looking on the next bar. You're in the range. And again, with a pattern that helps to define the range, because once you trigger, your pattern there is 263. You trigger, you still might get a little like a brush back of the support, but you're pretty much targeting 263.94 is that area that. But certainly you're not really any close under the obvious pivot is probably a failure. And yesterday's HSI trigger, we didn't even get up to target 1. So I'm a little skeptical of that. And by definition, I would probably look for maybe a secondary retest of another HSI trigger, because we just rolled over yesterday in a kind of big fashion that has a ways to go till we get down. S&P doesn't show it either, so eesh. I don't want to put too many things on the chart. If anything, it's likely that I'll filter this. And you'll be able to remove it. Well, if you just want to show the yellow dot, you'll be able to remove these others. Let me see if I can hide it. And it's just the dot. There it is. So I took it off. So there it is, pattern with just the dot. Maybe that could be just for today. Sorry, I don't mean to tease you guys, and I will get this to you, but it's going to be helpful. So if we didn't have a dot yet on this failure, we would still not be totally crazy on just looking at this last 2 days as correction within an uptrend. Are we going to really break down immediately? HSI says more time. You're 274, 275 at the moment. Even a nominal retest of 263.94 with that HSI signal would mean it's going to take more time on the type 2, which is okay. That happens. Let's go really quick to the diamonds. S&P's sideways at 312.25. Trying to get off that zone here of that. Take a look here on that 5-minute. This is the chart to be following if you're on SPY or futures. Ooh, here's okay. S&P showing a bearish HSI right now, where we're probably one bearish candle away from a continuation. That's around 313. Yikes. Be aware of that. S&P futures on continuous chart, 24-hour continuous contract as well. 39.1350 is HSI check back. this does not have the program on it, but what are we? We're seconds away. We just entered. There you go. There's the next bar. There's the 5-minute HSI. So, hey, we'll monitor this going into, I'll probably be here for another 30, 40 minutes. I'm going to go over to crypto in full in a second, but that 5-minute HSI, let's watch out for the next hour on that. I would, if I had the trigger, the dot would already be there. The dot would be right here on that. Maybe not that big, but and it's, I think it really squeezed it down to the 1 bar breakdown. Squeeze it into rolling over within this range. Any close, a close under 39.10, and you probably go all the way back to new lows for today. Let me take the transparency out. There you go. The yellow dot would be like that, and it would be on there. So where's this going? Where do you think S&P is going? There you go. Breakdown now. Right? Down 35 on the day. 39.13.50 is that trigger. Keep an eye on it. I think this could even, right now already, look, 5-minute time frame is a great intraday directional consideration, and that's your obvious range. There you go. Go on down, go on down, go on down. So it makes it easier. Listen, you don't have to guess. Is it that bar? Is that 2 or 3 or 5 bars? What is it, Scott? It's, it'll generate lists like that. Let's see what we have on the SPY really quick. And run the SPY with the 5-minute. Okay. There you go. Why didn't we get, oh, okay. We did check back on a 5-minute HSI just now, but all right, let's just, before I bring back the arrows, because we did generate something on the 5-minute. If you're a day trader on SPY, folks, directionally, look at the yellow dots and tell me where you're positioning. What's your early move for today? Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Thanks. That's something else, again, as I really kind of get situational experience with this stuff. That's the way to look at it. And it doesn't show the HSI arrows, but it really is make or break zones. And the only make or break zone I'm looking at today for SPY is back to 387 to retest that low. We did get, let me bring back the arrow, bring back our arrows, and that way we can put the two together, because one way to use the arrows, so let's say we're looking for some kind of confirmation low down here, we can use the counter trend arrow as like a minimum target. So you want, let's say if it was a long entry, you'd want the arrow and the check back dot, the confirmation dot. But if you were using it as a looking for targets for where to get out, it would be likely just the counter HSI signal. Let me see if I got another one here. Come back to this. No, not really. Here's yesterday, actually. It was the first day I looked at this. This was amazing. I opened it up and I was going to just spend yesterday looking at SPY, looking at S&P futures, and this is what generated yesterday at 400. And then I thought, wow, that's great. So this should be money, right? I lost because By the second candle breakdown, I knew that was out, and I got clipped on that one. But what was the lesson that, again, with that? No 3-bar breakout here to really get it going. And if you're going to look for that turnaround, we need patterns. It wasn't a bad idea. I was just taking a shot, brand new with the new toy, right? I was going to have to get a little action. But that failed by the second candle. And you're going to see that over and over again. Let's go to now. So where are we now with counter trend HSI? Yep, that's probably it for that little reaction that we started before we came into today. That's done. For today, SPY 3087, 30, almost a point lower from current levels. Tough. Oh, here's the other thing on SPY that we did have on the 4-hour chart, like the S&P. Is this what's going on for SPY? Are we in a type 2? Because we had a shark at the end of mid-December, right before Christmas, went up to target 1, and look, 398 really was the level. Terminal bar, 886, all of that is back here around 375. Anything down here? Nope. Look at your 4-hour. So what do we know? The arrow, let's say if you were thinking of this as your trigger for, or even just say, think of this as the trigger or the start of a corrective phase. You still have to come back down until HSI pops out. Another way to kind of be patient on it. So keep an eye on that. I think, yesterday, falling shy of this shark pattern. All right, it happens. I still think 407, 406 with that retest of that terminal bar on the shark is possible. And maybe we go into take, longer time. 30 more, the 30 days of this consolidation. Is that possible? Hold on. Let me show you one or two other things I'm looking at, a little longer, a little short term actually. Check out Airbnb on the daily, but on the hourly too. A bunch of these printed bearish patterns coming off the low. So again, a lot of them with you see the dots on the hourly. Here's the 4-hour, even better. Check out Airbnb. Okay, this is a type 2 on the 4-hour. At 85 was the hop, but right now you're really squeezed because of that. The HSI dot came in, all of that around 102. And why not just come back to 92? Not be any fun. If you're looking for an opportunity on something like this, it's going to be on the next signal on the retest at 4-hour. There you go. And look how deeply oversold you are on HSI. So that's still lower. Still lower on that. Really quick, let's go through crude oil, gold, what's happening up there, because a lot of the recent last, I don't know, few days even, we've seen stuff trigger across the board. If it's a daily HSI signal or if it's this kind of alliteration of bearish patterns on a 4-hour chart, pretty nice, where I don't think crude oil is going to get over 82.77. That's light sweet crude. and it's a retest of the Gartley. So you're kind of doing this for crude oil. And I do think that crude oil has to come down at least 75, and on the spot price, we have a big crab pattern, 75 or 70. So be aware of these, the fact that you have back-to-back patterns here, and they are at this target one of this crab. Take a look. This stuff matters too, because even in a sideways chop, the patterns can give really clear range trades. So let me, all right, let me bring the other zones back in. There you go, looks like that. Beautiful. So, target one on that crab pattern is at 80 bucks. And if we come back for another retest, 70, 73 minimum. I don't expect much different than that. What future's doing, future's trying to pop up. Hold on. There's NASDAQ. NASDAQ's pretty ugly deep crab. Type 2. Here's S&P. All right. What's it doing at the dot, folks? Is this the dot check back? 38.15. Let's watch this. This is, even though that's, I didn't automatically generate that. I just put that in by hand. That is the second dot after the check back. Are you stopped out above 39.15? I think it's all about that hourly chart here. So here's the hourly chart. And this is what we started with today. Are we going to get, okay, we're into the second hour off of this larger shark pattern. So you still need one more hour against this larger zone. Think of it that way. Before you could even paint a yellow dot. But anything above, any close above 39.15, you're 39.16, 17 right now. It did a nice check back, but what I'm talking about is the larger move. If there's going to be a larger type 1 reaction where you go to 39.71, you want to see this not only close above where it is, but get above like 39.20 and then take off for the rest of the day. You're only down 26 on the S&P, 27, so that was a nasty washout here. Yeah, and look, amplified. Oh, this is pretty interesting because look, here's standard RSI on your 60-minute chart. That's the RSI BAM. That's out, folks. Let me improve that color. I mean, you're getting long some Friday calls to get out of here. 39.22, there you go. And even at a minimum with what RSI is doing, that should at least go to the 50 before coming back down. Not bad. Keep an eye on that. Again, still needs 45 minutes. 55 minutes. Close at the top of the hour, if that's going to be a big type 1. Where, yeah, you get really go to like above 25 or 30 and then go to 70. Because this is the other thing on a trade like this. What's the 3-bar range? How do I know this is really going to explode? It's there. You break above that candle, then you go. And should go bar over bar, right? There's check back. That would be pretty sweet. All right, let's go crypto. Let's do the rundown in top 5 really quick. even though I started with that and showed the dot. What are we doing with crypto? Here's Ethereum, number one. Number one, Ethereum. Give me the pattern I'm looking for. So it's a bat pattern, just like Bitcoin on the daily. And if we check back again, 1607 is the number, 1600. Why not? Why would this break out now when you have this kind of thing going on? Just even in the last couple of months. You know, these couple of highs, take that other high. It could not break through, couldn't break through on terminal bar, which I think is important. That it really got smacked down up at the 886. And you had 4 bars, 5 attempts to get above there, could never do it. Then you do give an HSI signal. So your preferred move is to get this out of the way is a type 1 reaction down to 1400 for now. Little harmonic pause. Okay. So far, so good. That was fun. Give it time. Number 2 is BNB, and again, BNB helps the whole argument that this was a big reaction because 310 got rejected big time. We talked about what 310 was. You know, it was this crab pattern. It's this little crab pattern off of the low around 300 with some other triggers, around 310, hop level 330, not to exceed 330. And then we did check back here. No, we didn't check back. We registered the bearish candles, bearish arrows, bearish HSI. All right, you're still just grinding. Come down. Nice little dot configuration in the last couple of lows though. Check out the last few runs. Yellow dot, bang, yellow dot, bang, yellow dot, bang, but each one of them got capped by HSI. Binance, you know, if it got back down to 240, I wouldn't be surprised. Bitcoin, okay, I'm really happy for people that they were able to celebrate for a day or two on Bitcoin, but you folks tell me. It's a type 1 bat. That's all. No, I'm not bullish on crypto. It's all reactions. Crypto is just reactions, speculations. And I have been saying that for a long time, that crypto is speculation, probably for 18 months. I said that about Doge, and as high as that went, it's just penny speculation, and still is. Bitcoin still is, and that's a type 1 bat. So why fight it? 21K, I tweeted about it. 21.3 is the terminal bar, not to exceed the hop at 22,232. Maybe you check back there, but that should put you in a type 1 where you do some kind of uneventful $2,000 range for a while now. Back to target 1 at, again, 19,000. That squeezes you in there. Wouldn't be surprised too much. But the fact that it's a daily chart, folks, does have my attention. You have everything you want to see for actually a continuation. Number 4, XRP. You know, off 33, but runs right back into target 1 with HSI now 2 days ago. But look at XRP on the bullish side with the dot. That's a beaut. Here. You know, there was the retest at 30, but bang, there's the dot coming in right at 33, 34, and you get a nice move. I mean, that's, hey, 30%, short period of time. And again, notice how you go from yellow dot to HSI arrow is a real simple way to directionally understand what's happening. Like, okay, yellow dot's my trigger. The red dot is my target. Keep an eye on that. Number 5. Oh, sorry. Number 4 was Doge, but we jumped the gun. But hey, okay, Doge got to 9. Then it look at this beautiful thing. You're about to get a yellow dot on Doge. You had a check back there. Look at that check back at 8.8 cents on the daily. But you're still 2 candles away. But look at the last couple of yellow dots on Doge. Pretty nice directional stuff. 7, 7, 10, 5, or 10. And we'll get another one over here, a bearish one, unfortunately. So maybe more time here is involved. That was the 5. Here's a couple of the specialty ones. Solana, we talked about that earlier, and I think it's probably one to follow closely because everything you want to see is there. You have the pattern. It was a beautiful type 1. Got rejected almost exactly. I mean, 25.23. The high was 25.01. Depending on your feed, there you go again. But you do have HSI. You have a dot up here. So even if you were still long, you're going to run into some work on the downside with that HSI dot. Yeah, I think I really think it's a squeeze time for sure. Daniel's saying he's looking at individual stocks. They're pulling back to prior ranges from 2 weeks ago. Just a feeling like we're going to go higher. But we need a breakout. And I think the breakout scenario, if it was crypto or if it were stocks, whatever the move is, it's going to be an early signal. This is why I'm not too concerned about it. Like, let's say something pops up and it gets crazy. Some bad things hit the market. I think whatever the breakdown is going to be, it's just going to be the start of a continuation. Conversely, on the top side, you break out on the upside where, let's say, rates fall. VIX falls apart. Then both of those moves are going to be early signals that will run into the end of the quarter. That's why the next, 10 sessions, so important. Yeah, I would say by next 9 sessions, get you to the 31st. Let's see where we are. Let's see what these monthly closes are. Because they don't have to do anything. And crypto, like, let's say Solana pulls back to 12, folks. That sound crazy? Does that sound crazy to anybody if Solana pulled back to 12 to give us a type 2 deep crab? No. Not based on what we've seen. Come back to 12, retest, and then trigger, and then do some kind of massive thing. That would be the ideal harmonic pattern framework. Let's keep an eye on it. 1 or 2 more. One of the ones I really like still, but it's given up some gains here and just expect more work, is Chili's. And it's another type 2 that, look, 11.3, and then take a look at where those yellow dots pop in. But we ran right into an HSI. So 2 ways to think about this, especially on a type 2 retest. You know it's going to take more time. Structurally, 11.3 is right there. Right about there. But your yellow dots are like 10.8 cents. And then a little one there, 10 cents, 10 to 11. But with this HSI right now, it's probably going to have a little reaction, come back down. Could come back down to 11.3 structurally, but you want to wait for the next bullish signal. on the daily. Just play that conservatively and understand you're in a type 2, so this wouldn't be a surprise to go and stretch for another 30, from the signal. 30 bars is like early February. So there you go. Maybe get another shot. Are we bearish or are we bullish? Well, for the immediate, that's funny. Let's think reaction reversal. For crypto, we're back into the return phases on a lot of these. Solana, Chili's, they're going to have to come back down and retest because they signaled. Solana being the poster child of it. Here's Compound. This thing is beautiful, but it's another one where massive reaction. We generated HSI yesterday, and now we come back down. 35 would not. You're 46 at the moment, but that's it. And look at where the dot came in on that target 1, on that type 1 off the Gartley. So that helps to explain why it took a little bit more time, but we have to read that as reaction over. Have to. Any bullish candle under 47 a close on the daily gets you back to 35. That's reaction reversal dynamics 101. So I'm really just holding in. I'm not surprised to see a lot of fits and starts. Pop up, come back down. So be it. Just we're still in a reactive environment across the board. Let's go back. Let's take a peek at that 5-minute. Here's on the 60-minute. Still waiting for that hourly candle. And that doesn't look too good. Is that a failed breakout? Are we gonna, the whole thing here is, are we going to close above this zone, get a second bullish candle, and then you look at this for into the end of the day, into tomorrow. 39.07. Yeah, absolute make or break. And you know that anything under 39.04, forget about it. That's it. We're back here scraping one of these temporary swing bottoms. If it's a hourly or 4-hour chart, you're already scraping it. Yeah, and there's the 4-hour. The 4-hour looks worse. I mean, the 4-hour, every candle of the last 4-hour chart going back, 10 bars, bearish. So give me one bullish candle. That would help. It's probably on the top of the hour. When do we get a harmonic dot in your software? I'm going to say probably in a week. I need a little bit more time, but I wanted to say, I've been teasing it. I've been talking about it. I wanted to show it. And still think that people should understand what's going on in pattern completions of what the dot represents. It represents the price action reflection of, of this kind of move. Like this is HSI, Harmonic Strength Index. That's the dot right there where it comes out of the zone. But we know HSI, and it was designed to be kind of an early signal. And then the two candles after the fact come down more like there. It helps to really reduce drawdown. I want to be on the edge of that dot at all times from this point forward. And Compound, showing it to us. Here's a couple more. Crypto space. Really nice stuff too. Nice charts. I got to say this latest reaction did print some real pretty patterns. HSI on a 4-hour for Cardano. Where was that? No. Oh, here it is. Cardano is this deep crab, and we treat it this way. Beautiful daily pattern, although I wasn't really crazy about it. And And still not that crazy. Nice reaction, but that's all it is. And we would read this the same way no matter what. Immediate reaction off of the low at 25 cents. No confirmation, but now we run right back into the HSI signal. All right, I would look for that. Go back to XA level 28.4. Your next opportunity is on daily HSI hitting the oversold and then registering probably lower. Again, you're 33 now. A retest of 28 would be the ideal spot if you really wanted to get long Cardano. Let it register. Hey, if flies it dies, I saw your comment. I will catch up with you. I did miss your email. Just to let you know. I did miss it, but I'll get back to you. Thank you. Couple more. G-Dog. Hey, what's up? Thank you. Right on. Ethereum Classic. I like Ethereum Classic, but we need a new trigger. Because look, there's the dot. HSI trying to cap this rally. If we came back to 17, it wouldn't be a thing. XA level back there. So either structurally retest XA level, or at least you are oversold on HSI. 2 more days. The retest of the pattern would be sweet. Think of it this way, folks. You're down here when you're going dot to dot. Like there's the dot. There's the confirmation off the bat pattern. We're trying to get to 27 bucks, but look, our first warning signal was HSI at 20 and then yellow dot at 22. Now we're 20. I'd still like Solana that has to roll back down. S&P, hold on really quick. S&P's trying to break out. This is so big. Check it out. Are we going to get a 4-hour candle? Now we're 325. 39.25 on the 5-minute S&P chart, folks. We failed that 5-minute HSI. Look like this. So that's a big breakout for the day. 17 above that candle. And so you should get some follow through. Where are we? We're just hitting overbought now on HSI, but that's going to be another 10, 20 minutes before that does anything. The hourly. It's a shame there's no pattern there on the 5-minute. That hourly chart looks like, can we break above 28.75, folks? Yeesh. That's what's at stake. It's a type 1. Like this. And probably goes into tomorrow. The stop will be on the next hourly. Richmond, what's happening? Richmond's asking, where's the stop? The stop isn't even established yet because we've got 30 minutes, 37 minutes until that candle closes. And then we'd get a yellow dot. Then we're go time. One consideration in terms of futures versus options, like if you get that green candle, we get the close, you jump into it. That's when the thing should go serial from 2 to 4. If this type 1's going to play out, we need to see a couple of things. 3-bar breakout, but 2 green candles on the hourly that precede it. So this is still consolidation for now. I do like the fact that you have at least a 2-bar breakout. You know, you couldn't get lower. Big flush. Check back divergence established. And you're at least breaking out of that candle, which around 20 is, I'd want to at least see this thing close above 20. That's big. That's big for the day. That's big for tomorrow. It's big for the month. You got to hold them here. I don't even want to see 3,800 again. I would prefer them to hold, 3,900, 3,870. Let's bump stops. Let's call it like that. Now, I was saying before Very beginning of the year is like, that's it. Under 3,800, this thing fails. Bump your stops up to 3,800 once we started to move. And then I was saying 3,830. Now I'm going to say 3,870. Doesn't seem like much, but it's kind of goes along the lines of building more of an expectation of this trend to start to get up, make progress. Otherwise, it's not going to do it. So I will still give it a little more time, but that's the expectation here. I think everybody's, frustrated with this range. Couple of more. Really finish up on crypto. Here's this crazy thing. Look at this FET thing. Fetch AI. Now almost at $30. What do you do with this? Well, if you really wanted to chase this, the only way is on a 5-minute time frame. And you have some patterns. It's moving. I'll give it that. Here's a nice type 2 on a bat pattern at about 25 cents. And if this thing is going to do anything to hold 25 cents, not, there you go. On the hourly, check this out. I would look at fetch down here at 22, down at a hop level. Beautiful hourly pattern for maybe a reaction of back up to target 2. Been waiting on this thing. It just hasn't provided too many. Take a look at a deep crab on this thing about a week ago, just sideways. Pretty strong, so something's going on there. Something major where, remember, not to cherry pick this thing, but we did have patterns here. Daily. Hold on. Where was that? This was what? A Gartley? Yeah, it was a Gartley. We had a couple things at around 10 cents. It went to 5. That's crypto. But there are patterns here. We talked about that this summer. Couple of more. Here's Monero, much like Compound. Okay, couple of big patterns, 135, 120. Monero with that bat pattern, probably just a reaction for now. And I would be looking at this thing for most of these altcoins, that if they break this uptrend, it's over. On the latest check back correction, a lot of them did hit that area and are bouncing off that. I'm more concerned with this thing. Break that, break under 157, then you're all the way back in a full type 2 return. Oh, you know what? Before I forget, so this links up with some big stocks, crypto stocks, stuff like Bit Digital, which, check this out. I mentioned this. I was a little bit late on it. By the time I really was able to post the thing, I started looking at this 75 cents. It exploded. That's a type 1. It's done. It's absolutely done. But if this came back for a type 2, like that, and then back for the XA level, don't be surprised. I know it's 119 and that's a 50% drop, but it would still be perfect within the reaction reversal framework for something like that. And I mentioned maybe some of the better ones like Riot Blockchain, which has, now it's coming back to retest all of those weekly levels at 6 or 5. Here's Riot. Riot on a weekly looks like this. There you go. And it's pretty clear, that massive pattern. There's the target area. We ran into a small bearish HSI signal on the weekly here, but we're now retesting the one from June. All of that's, around $5. Trying to set off some kind of target one, type one. HSI on the weekly is not there, but daily looks like this. Pretty nice recent bearish on the daily HSI, where probably just going to be going back to retest the range bound support resistance. Yeah, that's as low as 322. But we'll get some kind of retest. I don't know if we'll get that low. I'm looking like, $5. Keep an eye on Riot. Mara is the same deal. A big thrust up after getting destroyed. It's like the first reaction. And here's Mara already, as high as 8, now 6. Mara was an ABCD, and that's ABCD $6. So down another $1 on these. But they're going to come back for a retest. Some type 1, some type 2. Couple more. Check out S&P, folks. This keeps holding 320, 39.20. I'm just going to go back and forth here. 39.32 is target one. Let me. I know I'm going back and forth here. Unfortunately, on the 4-hour chart, HSI is not there. But can we at least hold for today at target one, 39.32? Need a green arrow. Pretty interesting, though, as I go on the session. We've been able to hold that 39.15, 39.20. Keep an eye on it. There was one or two more. What was the, sorry. Let's look at total crypto market cap. I think what's going on there's another bat pattern up here. I said there was another bat pattern. Was it total 3? Oh no, this was for total 2. So exclude Bitcoin. It's a type 1 off the bat. Pretty remarkable, but nice pattern. And why not go into a type 2? That puts you back to 458. Didn't take long for this thing. Again, look, target 1 on the reaction was at 538 and hits that and hits a wall and then generated yesterday. So it's over. That type 1 reaction's over. And even if you wanted to wait for the trend line to be violated, it's like that. And you're a 1-bar close under 514. To set that back into the return phase. Total crypto, what'd that get to? 960. And I do think there's, there you go. Something to be said for this whole area around $1 trillion. Kind of looks like it's getting to be resistance, because look at the combination of HSI, just HSI signals with your yellow dot, and think of that as however you want to think about it, the harmonic strength, relative strength, whatever. What's the last signal? It's a bearish reading. And where does that come in? Around 946 billion. It was a nice try on the week, but you're getting rejected, and another week or two down, and I would say that's about it. So you got things here. 1:30, folks. Wow, I've gone 90 minutes already. Thank you to Michelangelo. Appreciate it. Yep, really appreciate Mitch Ray too. Mitch is great. Mitch over at Mitch Ray TA. Go check him out if you guys haven't, or most of you guys know about him anyway. All right, a couple more. Let's wrap up on some individuals. I think JTOGS, that's a good one. Netflix in light of earnings. What's going on? What are we going to do there? Daily, HSI triggered. It's a tough call. This is a tough call because you haven't checked back. Personally, I think the check back here with what has to happen, some kind of retest, the 330 level, it could happen in a glitch in the earnings where you get the pre-market to like check back this level and then dump. That's the problem with thinking, hey, is that going to go up? And then is there a way to play that on the check back? Go to the 4-hour chart though. Okay. Interesting that we have this thing going into earnings. Shark pattern, got a yellow dot up at 330, but now we have HSI checked back 320. So if I was looking at that, forget earnings, it would be tough to play the bearish side against that pattern. If you were bearish, maybe some puts, but I do think that without that kind of confirmation, or what have I been showing you about utilizing the counter HSI signal as a minimum target? So where you go yellow dot to, oh, okay, from bearish yellow dot to bullish green candle, maybe it's just a pause. Dave saying this talk about HSI and checkbacks are strange. I agree with that. It is strange. What is it? What is the check back? Okay, because we hit a structure, we hit a signal. The check back is a divergence phenomenon that goes on in the market. That's the best way to think about it. If it's RSI, if it's HSI, what have you, okay, think of it this way. The larger structural signals, they rarely are going to hit and then just give you an immediate rejection. It's just rare, where you hit a number and you go straight down. That impulsive reactive move, that's not normal. That's maybe 1 in 50, 1 in 30. So what we're looking for is a little micro divergence. That's what RSI BAM is. That's what all of the HSI logic is built up to, because it hits the level, and then a bunch of buyers come in a spot where they have no business buying because the extension, the rally has run its course. There's only so far. Listen, every move, every market segment can only go so far in a certain period of time. But you hit that level, then you do like a micro divergence where you try to rally it up. Oh, no, not enough buyers. Here come the sellers, and they just break the structure. But the check back, the dot, whatever you want to call it, okay, that's the point where you're looking for that to occur to set up the price action, the corresponding reversal, the corresponding change in direction, and that's to the right. It's like this: pattern completion, some kind of divergence, indicator extreme, and you get reaction. It's a formula, it's like 1 part pattern, 1 part divergence, 1 part price action. Yeah, Dave, check out volume 2, please. Folks, go to the basic members page. Hey, let's give away a book. V3, folks, who wants a V3? First one to put in V3. But go to the basic members page, Dave, and anyone else that's new. Volume 2 talks all about that. Mr. J, you win. Please hook up on the Discord and send your mail information to Miss Stephanie. But volume 2 has all the information and lays out the ideal structure of why we need divergence. And it looks like, where you go, it looks like that. It's kind of like, it is like that. Doesn't kind of look like that. You get 2 tests and divergence, because the divergence is like the last throwdown. For Netflix, I would think maybe higher in the zone. I don't have much other than 332 check back. And look, you're getting a candle here. Last bullish reading was down here at 280. So keep an eye on that. Look, folks, S&P's above our level. It's starting to break out now. And I'm starting to like this for the day. We're going to go, we got about 20 more minutes to the top of the hour. I'm talking possibility type 2 return. And this would be our trick for the day. I mean, really, like 5 minute. Here we come back. Now we're starting to get serial, right? There's 5 minute S&P. That's a lot better. Where's the 60 minute? The 60 minute? 60 minute. 3-bar breakout gets going above 33, 34 for target back up to 71. Keep an eye on that one. I think that's where I'm going to cut it off for today. Great stuff, though. Appreciate it. Winners, please check out with Miss Stephanie on Discord to get hooked up. Other than that, folks, we'll be back on Tuesday, 12 noon Eastern. And do get with the software. I will have the release. I'll have the information of the release certainly by Tuesday of next week. I'll let you guys know then. So if you have not taken advantage of that, by all means, please go to harmonictrader.com over here, become a basic member, and get started with all of that. And check out all the new videos we have on the YouTube channel, all of the courses. Get over there. Thanks again, folks. Great session. I hope this has been enlightening, and we will share more next week. Go get them. See you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend.